This was the start of a new millennium. I remember the hype on the news about the Millennium Dome, all these new things, technology was coming into play, things like LimeWire, MySpace was all kicking off. And I remember me always having a passion for music from when I was young. Growing up in a family, my father used to always sing, my mom used to always sing, they used to do it at church. The youth choir, the junior choir, I was part of all that, so music was around me, and I quickly saw from school how much power music had. I remember channel AKA. AKA was a channel that when you put on your Sky, that was one of the first channels you would go to after Nickelodeon. And it was amazing. It was great for the scene, because before then you would only hear about music on pirate radio stations, so the music that you want to listen to will only be on radio. It was really inspiring for myself, looking at man like Dvisionaiire from East London. What inspired me the most was So Solid, because they were from South London, I was from South London, and for them just to smash mainstream, 21 Seconds, #1 was just great. So I remember buying a camera, me and my brother, at home, recording our home videos, day and night. We'd just be there downloading instrumentals from LimeWire and just rapping. My mom would be shouting from upstairs that we're making too much noise, calm down. It was a fun time. I remember my cousin Andrew and Daniel, we used to clash all the time. To prove that you're good, you have to clash and beat somebody. So this is like Lord of the Mics, where Wiley will be clashing, Kano, Getz, they'll all be clashing to show that they're better. And this was the exact same thing that was going on in secondary school. Everyone's clashing. So there was a group that we formed called Lyrical Soldiers. Now this was made up of 3 people from South, 3 people from North, showing that yeah, we want to make it in the scene as well. We want to go on Channel U, have our videos on there. So that's where I first developed my craft, writing catchy rhymes, recording, going to a studio, doing ad-libs. It developed at that young age. So the passion just grew. It grew from there. And it was a great time. So it was the year 2009. This was the year I just came back from America. I did a study abroad from university in America, Michigan, Grand Valley State University. And it was a fantastic year for me. This was a year where I got to really be independent and discover who I am and discover what I want to really do in life. America is a great place. It's a place where it really provides you a platform to nurture your skills, whether that be in sports, whether that be in cooking, whether that be in music. So it really allowed me to really develop myself. So when I came back to the UK, the hype of 2000 had really died down. Different things was happening in the world of technology, music, sports. And I remember receiving a message from a friend from secondary school. He said he's doing a compilation album, he's a producer, he just really wants to show his skills. So he's doing different genres, R&B, hip hop, gospel, and he wanted me to do the gospel track. He's got a track for me, he sent me over the instrumental, and I recorded this song, and this song was to open doors for me. This song was to begin my journey as an artist. The song was called Close to You. And it really showed me that I do have a skill for this, and this is something that I really want to take seriously, because I'd already seen the power of music and the way it changed people's language, the way it changed people's clothing, the way they walk. So I thought, you know what, I want to use this power to make a difference. They say music is a universal language. The great Nelson Mandela once said, if you speak to a man in a language he understands, it goes to his head. But if you speak to a man in his language, it goes to his heart. And I believe that music has the ability to speak to millions of people. But Marley said the one thing about music is when it hits you, you feel no pain. I've seen the power it has to change the mentality of of people, especially young people who are trapped in a box that they can't be anything greater than what they see in front of them. They don't have the ability to see past their current situation. But I believe music has the power to remove those barriers. So in the year 2012, I decided to do a song called Rise Up, to really encourage the nation that despite what you're going through, you can rise above it. When you're on the ground, the only way is up. And that's what the whole concept of the song was. So I released this EP. I had the privilege of working with Bobby Bavell, the legendary reggae gospel artist Papa San, which was such an honor to be able to work with him. UK artists and singers Ricardo Mitchell and Jayando Cole, and worked with producer G-Kid. And it was great fun making this project, and just the response was just phenomenal. It went #1 in the independent charts, which was such a blessing to me. And the video was playlisted on R&B Massive across the world, so Vox Africa, which airs around the globe. So it was a great project and a great encouragement to myself. This is also during the time of the Olympics, and Adidas was doing a competition with Wretch 3-2. And I entered Rise Up into that competition, and I was runner-up. I was top 10 out of thousands of entries that was entered this competition. And it was great, it was great. I got real success from that project, and it was just an honor to see the feedback that I received. There were people out there who were very supportive of me when I first entered the scene. They're like, oh wow, like I've heard your stuff, and I like what you're doing, keep going. You can use this producer, I can show you how to do this. And there were people out there, but I had to kind of build my own family. So I remember one of our older guys in our church, who was like our older brother, Paul Frimpong. He saw the passion that I had for music and said, you know what, I'm going to help you. So joining with him was like a blessing to me. He supported me, he was someone I could discuss with, and he gave me so much good advice. And then I started to meet other people in the gospel industry, people like Triple O, people like Tunde, who I respected very much for their craft. And they also offered me much advice in terms of saying, Lyrical, I've seen what you're doing great things, and this is what, you know what, if I can't offer you nothing at all I can say is just keep going, because you are making a difference. But though the journey hasn't been easy, it's definitely been worth it. And I've learned so much along the journey. And I think people like Nadine, she was part of a group called Ecclesia in music, who were the first people in industry to give me a chance. And I'm so grateful for them so much. Nadine, Michelle, who was part of them, gave me an opportunity and showed me so much things, and I'm so thankful for that opportunity, because I don't think I'll be where I am today. Believer was a concept that was given years ago. Just really, it was a concept of identity. Remember, one of the girls that I work with now many years ago, Bethel, sent me a voice note of the chorus, and it just went like, I'm a believer. This was very young. Warrior and a true soldier. For just a few seconds, she sent it to me and goes, Michael, this is something that I wrote. I just stored it in my phone for years. And I remember listening through my phone, and I came across the chorus again. I was like, yeah, this is something that I can relate to, about identity. I remember from young, just to fit in, you'd copy what everybody was doing, copy the lingo, the dressing, so you didn't really know who you were. But as I grew up, going to university, it's like starting again. You're going to an environment that no one knows you. So who are you? So it was a concept of my journey, my transition in life. I called Bethel, Bethel, we're gonna do this song. She was excited. And I said, okay, cool. hollered at G Kid again, my main guy, and I said, let's make this happen. So I can remember going to the studio and just kind of writing about my journey. Starting off, never knew who I was and where I'm from, why on earth am I on earth, and what's the reason. Just talking about who I was in the first verse and just kind of developing. So recording it was very fun. Being in the studio, me and Bethel just enjoyed ourselves with G Kid. Just a time, because it was a very bubbly song. My previous songs had been kind of very kind of epic and very serious, especially the videos. So I wanted this video to be bubbly. I wanted it to be fun, shot in the daytime as opposed to the nighttime. So again, it was very important that me remembering my Channel U days and looking at their videos, I've always had a standard for my videos. So I thought, okay, let me find somebody who can really translate the vision in my head, because I really wanted to show a very great video. So I was privileged to work with a young group called Dvisionaiire, and my previous 2 videos had been epic, groundbreaking. The first one, Unconditional, released in 2011, was playlisted on Kiss, which was a great for myself. I had upside down cars, police lights in the video. The next video was my song Rise Up, and this one I was standing on top of some massive crane. You got Tower Bridge. So these were very epic videos, very dark, very serious messages. So Believe was to be very bubbly. I wanted it to be very fun, very back kind of 90s sort of kind of beat. So it was very important that I really found directors to kind of maintain that standard which I'd already set.